here we are.
Hello.
Hello, everybody out there. I see a bunch of people joining from Instagram. Hello to everybody over on Instagram. And
Hello.
This is Max, Susan, and Enya, who we just wrapped up 17 days of videoing content for you guys. And Enya literally just landed in her home 1 hour ago. So she left here like more than 24 hours ago. So,
like 2 days ago.
Yeah. So little stopover in Germany for her dogs to have a little break up the long trip. And so everybody, tell us where you're from and tell us if you're doing agility right now. And Little Wonders says, I get extra points for being here an hour, 104 minutes early. You should.
Oh my God, yes.
That's dedication.
Absolutely.
Dedication. So let us know where you're from, if you're doing agility, if you're in Handling 360 already, because I know some of our H360 people will be watching.
Yeah.
And we're going to give away a prize. This is beautiful H360 colors with an H360 logo on the handle from the good people at For My Merles.
Beautiful.
And the squeaky one, yeah.
This is Thissy's newest favorite. She really likes this toy. So just give us a share this broadcast anywhere on social media. Come on back and tell us where you shared it, and we'll draw at the end of today's live. Okay.
We have
Hello
people here from Finland. Handling 360 flat work here. Then we have Middleton, Maine. Agility would be fun one day. Sally.
Madison, Wisconsin. I've been there. Here's a little fun fact. I went to the World Dairy Expo back in 1982 in Madison, Wisconsin. Yes, maybe it was 83. I was judging dairy cattle at the time. We're going way back in my lifetime.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was the #1 Holstein judge at the University of Guelph, which they affectionately call the Cow College of Canada because it's big agriculture. I loved cows. I love cows. Unfortunately, they didn't love me. I was deathly allergic to them. So, back to dogs. Yeah, those colors are great, aren't they? I think I'm gonna have to get more of these toys. I really like them. Yeah, Max, put the shirt up. Yeah. Oh, the colors, beautiful. I think Brian and Shirley did good color matching that one. That was amazing.
Yeah,
okay, so today is the last day for registrations for Handling 360, and on this live, we're going to answer any questions you may have. Some questions have come into our team privately, and if you have any, you can ask them here on the live. We're going to share with you why this is the time for you and your dogs to join Handling 360. And we'll go in, we'll kind of pull back the curtain. Maybe we'll do that first. We'll just do a little walkthrough. No, first I'm going to ask a question, and then we'll do a little walkthrough. So where's my little question that I had for you guys? Hold on. Okay. This is multiple choice, but you can just write your own answer. And how do you currently plan your dog agility training? So are you one of those people that just don't plan? You just go out and I'll just do some weave pulls or a seesaw or something. Do you only really train at class? You don't really train at home? You just copy the latest fad you see on agility online or something else? So just so you are aware, Handling 360, when you join, we have a lesson plan for you every week of the year. So 50 lesson plans that include various topics, and everyone's got a video for you and a PDF that you can download and print out if you want to. So if you aren't getting 50 lesson plans from us, well, it's more than that, really, isn't it? Because each lesson has got 3 to 5 pieces to it. So there's 3 to 5 videos. So there's some monkey business going on down here. Momentum's trying to get Profit to play. So from Instagram, Baltimore, Maryland. I think my pup knows your voice. She waits for something fun to do now. That's so cute. KT Kanak in Handling 360. Stalled out before Christmas. Plan to get back at it. Good for you. You know what? Christmas tends to put a lot of things off kilter. But the nice thing about something like Handling 360 is you can get back on anytime. You know, you'll see when I'll do a little, I'll show you what, I've got a little screen cap so you can see what it looks like. But you can, every time you do a lesson, you click as the lesson is complete, and then you know exactly where you are if you go away for a couple of weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question.
Oh, this is my first agility dog. 3 years with one mind dog. So concerned about how to work in all the new verbal cues. So
I can tell you, it won't be hard. It will make your life so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And it will also make the skills so much more independent.
And coming from a system that really, I don't know if they use verbal cues now, but they absolutely didn't use verbal cues. And so when Handling 360 first opened for registrations, I think that was in 2012. And then One Mind Dogs came along later, and there was this, you should never talk to the dog. It'll slow them down. It will. And I think now the world knows that, yes, verbal cues taught properly with good dog training never slows a dog down.
No, opposite. It just gives you such an advantage because you can do so much more on a distance.
Exactly.
And it's not necessarily always connected to the dog just finding an obstacle on a distance, but actually having a proper skill on a distance where it understands on the verbal cue exactly what skill to perform. So yeah, it's such a big benefit to have the verbal cue supporting the body handling.
And if you stick with me, we're going to show this video. In the video, I went into Handling 360 and I just picked a lesson to show you how we would go about breaking down something that, like, honestly. So one of the examples I'm giving you that we're going to show in the video is breaking down a soft turn. And when I started with my earlier agility dogs, this is how I taught a soft turn verbal cue. I just ran my dogs and started saying it. And I bet that's how most people still do it. And what I realized, well, that might work for my super smart border collies, but it didn't work for other dogs that needed more support. So then when we started breaking things down and teaching it in pieces, the dogs got so much faster. But even my super smart border collie would have had such an advantage had I done that for her. So I'll show you that when we show the walkthrough of our course.
We have a lot of answers on the question. Some people say they just wing it.
Melanie, I appreciate your honesty, girl. Just wing it.
We have some Handling 360 members saying they plan weekly. Love that. I run a setup course at class each week, take notes and work on the things we need to work on, and do them at home, usually with 1 or 2 jumps or a contact board.
And, all of these things will give you some incremental improvement for sure. But like I said about teaching things in a more strategic way, then it isn't, I found a hole. I'm built so that I built these things up so I don't have holes.
Yeah. Exactly.
What else? Sue says, I go to weekly and I try to get homework done in the week to pick up extra class time. Okay, so again, I think classes are a great place to show off your skills, but maybe not teach skills because it's just too many distractions there. I'm going over to Instagram to make sure that I'm not missing. Holly from Burlington, hello, neighbor.
Yeah. So going back to that last question, I think when you try to progress it to a human factor, I'm looking at myself. When are you actually in a position and in an environment where you can learn really, really well? So if I look back at school, for example, and there were 20 kids in a class and all are treated the same, there might be some of them who will go through and it will be the perfect fit for them. But for most of them, it's just an average approach to kind of make it work for the system. But if you have a system structured to your needs and learn it in an environment that is calm and safe, you will learn so much better. And that's just the same thing with the dogs.
Excuse me. It makes such a difference when things are constantly growing confidence rather than you losing confidence and then having to gain it back as your dog, or and it's both for you and your dog. That's the goal, is that everything you're doing is growing your dog's confidence and growing your confidence for sure. Okay, so let's see if there's any other comments or questions here. Oh, here's a good one.
I'll read it out loud. Or do you want to read it, Max?
Okay, I can read it.
Yeah.
So Emma's asking, why do you think your system is the best for agility training versus other systems? For example, One Mind Dog.
I honestly don't know One Mind Dog system so well. Exactly like you said, Susan, I don't know if they use verbals now, but I know at least back in the years they didn't use any verbal cues. So I would say that's a major difference, because it's a very body cue built system, which I think is great that you can learn body cues. I mean, we also, especially now in Synergy, we've added so much handling into the system, into the whole class, and we are deep diving into every single body cue, and then we are combining it with the verbal cue, and we are teaching the synergy of the body cue and the verbal cue together. So I can't compare it necessarily to One Mind Dogs, but I think what our system is having is, especially the whole build up of the program, is the layers of learning, how it builds up the confidence, not only for the dog, but also for the trainer, where it's really clear instructions with small steps at a time, where you still see progress. You're not stuck working at one thing for way too long. We are teaching things that later will be used in agility off equipment. So it's also a system where you can start training with a younger dog, and then when you apply it onto obstacles, it's conflict-free and it's stress-free. And it is just built with pure confidence. With that said, I think it's a very, very unique online program, but I say that without necessarily comparing it to another program.
Right. There, when years ago, I went and taught a seminar for the people who created One Mind Dog, and there was a lot that they did. This is one of the things that I know we are very different in, that they did a lot of agility with puppies, which we don't. We do a lot of things that help create the skills away from agility. So number one is because when I started agility, I was probably like the majority of you, and I know like Max and Enya for sure, in that I didn't have agility equipment. I didn't have, 20 jumps and tunnels. And so I came up with ways that we could dog train skills away from agility. So the dog made all their mistakes away from agility. Then when we got to agility, they were brilliant. And so there's so much that we have you do in the first year. We have 50 brand new lesson plans, and the vast majority of them are away. Actually, you know what? Let's just show them. let's just show you here. So this is our 10 classrooms. We're letting our students name the 10th classroom, but essentials and the compass and dynamics and cones and cues, all the way up to probably classroom 5 or 6. You really don't need much equipment. You need some cones, traffic cones, one jump, at the most maybe 2 when you get to classroom 6, and a tunnel, a small tunnel. We recommend you buy a short tunnel that you can work what we call this and that, meaning helping the dog to understand it's not the jump, it's the tunnel. So these are the 10 classrooms, and like classroom number 8, which I think is all of our personal favorite. Even that one only has 4 jumps. 4 jumps.
Yeah.
And the skills you could do in a small area. So that's a big difference, I think, because we want you and your dog to have confidence on how to do all those skills before. Yes, there'll come a point in Handling 360 where you're going to have to rent an area that has agility equipment or buy 6 jumps and take them to the park like I did. But you don't need all the fancy stuff. You don't need a big fancy building. You can have success in our program.
Yeah. And I think that's like the very unique part of it. And one thing I want to point out in that is by spending the time on the beginnings, the first couple of classrooms where we do like everything away from obstacles, you create a dog and human relationship that is based on how to learn. It's much better to learn how to learn than to just learn one thing. Meaning, with these type of exercises that we've created, or that you actually create a bond and you create a relationship where everything that comes later, where you have to rent a building or you have to buy obstacles and stuff, it will be so much easier and you will have success with it so much faster if you've done the first part correctly. So this is the cool thing about it, because not only are we doing so much away from obstacles, but also it will make the time you spend on obstacles so much more effective.
Absolutely.
100%.
Okay, I'm going to show a video of a little peek inside of Handling 360 Connect. So Handling 360 Connect is when you join right now. That's what the classroom you will be into. And then in 1 month, at the beginning of March, you will have access to Handling 360 Synergy. So you're going to have access to both of those classrooms as we progress along. We're going to have everybody in Synergy once all of the lessons. So every week you get a new lesson plan. Starting March 1st, you're going to get a new lesson plan every single week. So that's super exciting. So I'm going to just pull up. I hope this works. I hope I'm able to do a little tour and talk through this. I just have to find the video now. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take you guys off the screen and I have to leave you on because then you won't be able to talk otherwise. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm hoping you can hear. This is what our membership site looks like. There's a welcome. And one of the first things you see is this accessibility tool. So you can, those are all of our classrooms that are in Connect right now. But you click on the accessibility tool and like maybe you have vision problems, it makes everything bigger. This one is my personal favorite, is if it's more ADHD friendly. So it gives me a bar that I can highlight what I'm supposed to be reading, and it turns off the distractions of other things for me. But we have all these tools that you can customize the site for your best learning experience. So maybe you want darker contrast instead of the lighter backgrounds. You can do any of that, or you can, like, let's say I want to hide all the images. I just want to see words. There's so many things you can do with our accessibility tool because we want everybody to be learning in a way that brings out the best for them as a learner. Okay, let's get into the classroom. So you see in Connect, I just randomly picked the 3rd classroom, Blueprint. And in Blueprint, there's 12 lessons, but in all of our 10 classes, there's going to be There's going to be 50 lessons, so an average of 5. But you'll see there's more. There isn't just one lesson per week. You get several. So this was I just randomly grabbed a lesson. This was on, we need to get our dogs to change their lead coming out of a tunnel from the backside. And so, there's a simple video. I just showed you a little piece of the video. And then I went to the PDF. You get this PDF for every single week, every single lesson. You get a PDF that you can either just keep, store on your iPad or on your phone, or you can print it out. But that, whatever works best for your learning. Okay, now we have bonuses. So I went into one of the bonuses was and this was an example of building up a verbal cue right from the ground up. So this is a soft turning cue. And you can see we start with something called veto game and a couple of cones. So this is a brand new student, never trained an agility dog before. So we're getting that dog go between this gap of cones. And then we alter the picture so that there's a wing and a little bump. So they're looking more like jumps, and the dog knows, I don't want you to go in the gap unless I cue you. So now we're doing a this or that. Turn tight versus go straight, go jump long, an extension, versus soft turn to the next jump. So it's all done in layers. That was a super fast explanation. And then if you look at, there's forums. If you just want to talk about agility, there's a place for you to talk about it. You don't have to go to social media, although we do have a membership chat room in Facebook. But all of the forums have anything you want to talk about. And if you would like to, and you can just see that some of them have conversations that go on the regular. Some of them, haven't been, the chats haven't happened in a while. But you can see here, this comment came in at 3:20. And then the next day, there was already a comment in response to that. If you go to our actual classrooms, where you can pick any lesson in the classroom, and you can see, you can upload your videos and you can try it yourself, ask questions. This is what I've done. And then again, you see this coach answered within 3 hours, I think, of the question coming in. So 6:24, got an answer at 9:16, less than 3 hours later. We have coaches all over the world. So it's not just the three of us. And the really cool thing is you're not dependent on just one person not being busy and answering your question. So it is a custom built website. So it's super different than anything you would have ever experienced in anybody's online programs before. So why don't you guys talk a little bit about the advantages of having like a website like that, and the program? Like, let's say you have a puppy and you have a 3-year-old dog. Like, what are the advantages of what we're offering people?
Yeah.
I
So
think,
first of,
yeah. Okay, Max, go ahead.
you go. You can go, Enya. Go.
I was just thinking, like, of having the separate platform. I think the biggest benefit is that the alternative is to have it on, for example, Facebook. We know everyone is not on Facebook. Also, when I've attended online classes before, not maybe these big programs, but classes, it's so difficult to find a clear structure. It's very confusing for me because very often the video with the latest comment is the one that is in the top, and I have to search or scroll for finding exactly what I want. I think the structure is so clear. You have the overview. You can see exactly where you're at, how far you've come in the program. You can go to the discussion forums or to the separate lessons for posting your videos. So I think it's just so much easier to have it separately, so it's not so confusing with the videos. But then we do have, I can just mention that we do have a Facebook group for those who likes the social part and connecting with the community. We have a Handling 360 community group where it's a very active group, and it's lots of chats and just cheering and stuff going on. So we do have that social part on Facebook as well, but not the structure of learning. That one is on a separate platform, which is so much more clear.
Yeah. So let me go into one thing. I can't wait to have a puppy again and go through it with another dog because it's so exciting. But yeah, so if I'm thinking about training a new dog in agility, it doesn't have to be a puppy. It could also be like a 3, 4, 5-year-old dog you want to start agility with. The great benefit is that it's a structured plan, and it's a proven plan because so many dogs have been through it with great success, which is amazing. Guided feedback from lots of people around, like 24 hours, there's feedback available. And if I'm looking at, I want to do it with, like, I don't know, I'm competing for a couple of years and I'm like in the, I don't know, the grades in America, but like almost the highest grades that you can go, or even the highest grades, maybe even attempting tryouts and qualifying for teams or whatever. Doesn't really matter on which thing you are, but coming to the program, and you might be able to do lots of the things that are in there, but things could still improve. And mostly the things that could improve start right at the beginning. Because something maybe wasn't as good in the foundation, meaning that I had a couple of students now that I was talking to about Handling 360 and how excited I am. And they were like, yeah, but like I have this one problem and like I probably don't need the rest of the content. And I was like, you know what? You do, because your problem, I could see it in real life, your problem started like 5 classrooms ago. So that's the thing. Start over. And if you've done your job right, you should be able to go through the first couple of classrooms so easy. And then you will probably at one point feel like, okay, I can't get through this quickly, meaning maybe this could solve, maybe that's connected to what my problem at the moment is. So doesn't really matter if you have a young dog or a dog who starts agility, or if you're already doing agility on a good level. There's so much to learn.
And what Max said, if you have a young dog and you have a dog that you just want to improve some skills, if you were to join most other people's online programs, you would have to sign up for 2 spots. But we're training you. We're training you to be a better dog trainer. We're training you to be a better handler. And so if you want to show us videos from yourself with 2 dogs, we will 100% support that journey. You don't have to sign up twice. You could have 5 dogs and work through our program. You don't have to pay 5 times. And so if you look at the investment for Handling 360, and people will say, wow, like that looks like, you know, $349 over 4 months, over 4 installments, or for those of you who are going to join all at once, it's almost $1,200. And you might go, wow, that's a lot, but not compared to the alternative. Number one alternative is you kind of go it alone and you fail in the ring more than you succeed. How much does that cost you in your confidence? How much does it cost your dog in their confidence? Or your dog leaves the ring and sniffs or gets the zoomies. Your dog is giving you feedback. I don't have the clarity that you think I have. And so this small investment seems very small when you compare to 1 year, 2 years, 3 years of really not having success in the ring. But there's a comment that came in here. I would like to make this purchase to up our game. My goal is to get to a UKI Invitational in the spring of 2026. I love that you've set a goal like that. That's awesome. I don't know where you're starting, but set an ambitious goal right off the start. What does my Handling 360 year look like? I got 2 clean level 3 jumpers and 1 SC clean run last year. I'm going to let you guys, I'm just going to share one story and then I'll let you guys talk about what that journey would look like. Do I have to start over? But I'm going to talk about somebody who contacted me several years ago, they wanted to join Handling 360. They already were on, they won an AKC national with one of their dogs. The dog passed away. They had a border collie that was 3 years old, and they'd run for 2 years and had never got a qualifying score with that dog. And they had a younger dog, a puppy. So she contacted me because she knew me, and she said, do you think this would be good for me? And I said, honestly, only if you're willing to put your ego aside, you've already been a national champion, and take and adopt a beginner's mindset. As much as success as Max and Enya and I have had in agility, we still adopt learning from a beginner's mindset, meaning we're hungry to continue to learn. So this woman took me up on the challenge of becoming a beginner. She started right back at the beginning with her border collie, even though she'd been doing it for 2 years. And she brought her 6-month-old puppy along and did the lessons with her puppy. Long story short, within 1 year of finishing Handling 360, not only did she get a qualifying run, with her border collie, she won 2 AKC national championships and won at least 2, maybe 3 with that puppy. And that puppy's been on many US world teams ever since. So yeah, have an ambitious goal and let us help you show off out there, because I've just seen it happen so many times with people who are struggling and didn't think this woman was going to a instructor every week who'd been on the US world team many times. Well, I've been doing this, but for 2 years, I haven't got a qualifying score. Not everything makes sense until you see something that makes unbelievable sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think besides what Max already mentioned, like, let's say you already have quite solid foundations, and that's not where the problem is. Let's say you don't really know what the problem is. Maybe there isn't a problem, but you want to learn and you have that mindset of wanting to learn. The first classrooms will probably be easy if the foundations are there, or you can go through them quicker than if you're starting with the puppy, for example. But then we have some really cool challenges in there. Like Susan already mentioned the this or that's, which is the verbal cue, responding to the correct verbal cue and choosing the correct behavior on the verbal marker. There's so many really cool challenges. And we have the biggest factor where all of us believe you're never fully learned, which is the handling. We have so much handling in there now. And I think for a big goal, like you have, I think that could be a game changer. Absolutely.
Definitely.
100%. And it's really cool. So the people who have signed up so far this year, in the last month, of all the people that have signed up, the really cool thing is 25% of our new signups are brand new to agility, and 20% are already excelling in the sport. So what's really cool is I know each group are going to be amazing success stories. And I think we don't normally have brand new to the sport people brave enough to jump into an online program. I am so thrilled with all of those people who are brand new to the sport that said, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. I'm giving this Handling 360 a try. I want to start my agility dog's career on the right path. And there'll be no looking back next year at this time. That's going to be unbelievable. So I got some more questions here. Where do I start with basic commands and training as a prerequisite for agility with my untrained dog? Will we be able to grow in Handling 360 if we are already trialing and haven't learned your system, or will it be like starting over? So you guys want to take that so I don't cough anymore?
Yeah. So as we said before, when you're already competing, then my mind would automatically go to you are pretty confident in the foundations that you've done. Meaning, if you would start a program and you started from the beginning and you've done your correct foundations, you should go through the first lessons. Like, it will be very easy because you're just gonna do it and you'll be fine and you can move on. Meaning, if you start from the beginning and you can't progress through at one point because there's something missing, that's the point where you will really figure out, oh, okay, maybe that is the reason why my dog is sometimes turning wide. Oh, this is the reason why my dog is sometimes taking the tunnel trap, because you haven't included this or that right in the beginning, for example. So there's so many things that in our program and that have the structure and the layers of bringing your dog the clarity and yourself as well, that when you reach the point where you're going to competitions, things that you see there, you will have an answer for them. And I think that's on courseworks, that's what you see a lot. People have question marks like right over their head. And that's what we try to create, that you have the answers. I know Enya loves exclamation marks, so you're going to have an exclamation mark on every challenge you see on a course. So this is unique.
And I'm just going to interject one of the really cool things. When we were building up Handling 360 Synergy, there were foundational pieces that even Max and Enya didn't have. So they're both two of the best handlers on this planet, and they both adopted that beginner's mindset. So in Handling 360, you're going to see Max teaching his dog Remix crate games and getting as excited as I get when the dog gets something right and makes a good choice. So like Max said, if you're doing agility, we encourage everyone to start back at the very beginning and go through those lessons. And if you've done your foundation, then you'll just sail through. But what you're doing is creating an amazing foundation for when you get to the more difficult handling, your dog has these unbelievable skills that you can rely on.
Yeah.
So yes, start at the beginning. Just like I said to the other woman who had already won a national championship, and she started right back at the beginning, but she breezed through the first levels because her dog had some pretty good foundation, but she did find holes that she had to put in place, which allowed her to grow to be such a successful team with both of those dogs. Thoughts on building your own equipment? I can build a dog walk for $1,000 versus buying one for $5,000. So we have a lot of students who build their own equipment. I wouldn't know where to go.
I did when I was younger, when I didn't have it's no problem.
True story. I built PVC jumps. We had a big craft night, and 5 or 6 of us just built PVC jumps. So
no problem at all.
What is the investment each year? Is it the same every year? Do you only need 1 year? 1 year is going to be a massive step up for you. And I promise you will be able to hit the ground running and have success in agility. Why do people keep staying? Because they get brand new content every single week if they do stay. And no, it doesn't cost you the same. It doesn't cost you the same to stay on another year. We support people who throw their hat in the ring and say, we want to be part of your community. So we give you an irresistible offer at the end of 1 year that you will not be able to refuse. And that's why we have such a big community here in Handling 360 of people. Some people have been around for 10 years because we continue to give them amazing dog training and handling and dog and challenges for dog agility. Do we need to stop trialing while working through H360? So if you have I would say if you have a dog that runs away, that is, not driven, is not like they don't really want to learn, then yes, that dog is telling you, I don't enjoy this sport. So the first thing that we teach you in Essentials, level 1 of our program, is that we want to get that dog excited about working with you. And once you've got that, then everything else is easy. However, if you already have a dog that's really engaged, and you could continue to do a trial for sure.
Yeah, it's no problem at all to continue trialing while working through the program. I think another factor that is important to remember is what we talked about. I think it was on the second or third live that we did of the Dreams to Reality, where you did your inventory, where we talked about the fun you have in training and competition, and the fun your dog has in training and competition. So, for example, what Susan says, if your dog has lots of distractions and isn't comfortable in the competition environment yet, or runs away because they see squirrels or other dogs, then maybe that dog would be better to go through the program and then come back out to competition. But the same goes if your joy is not so high. If
sure.
you feel like, I like training, but there's so much frustration connected to my competitions at the moment, I want to build better foundations and then come back to competition, so you're not putting bad emotions into the competition scenario. So no problems at all. You can trial and work through the program at the same time, but I think that skill inventory is going to be very important. And I think the answer is there. But of course, coming into our program, we will also help you if we think that actually maybe we should take a break from competition, or this is perfectly fine, you can continue. So our goal is to be your coach, so we can help you with what we would do in that similar situation.
Yeah. How much for one day?
See.
Okay, so one of the things that I think you should also consider if you're deciding I'm going to keep trialing. I just asked Kim. She just filled out an entry for a trial, just a local trial, and it was $100 a dog for 1 day of trialing. So if you're paying $100 just for the entries, not even included if you have to drive somewhere, get a hotel somewhere, pay for all your food. If you're paying $100 a day, and I know in Europe you're not paying quite that much for your entries, that's very common for a local trial here. So if you're paying $200 a weekend or $300 a weekend for the 3-day shows, then you would be better off to just put pause on your agility handling while you're working through our first, say, 5 classrooms. And then when you come back, you will have a different level of success. And I think you will appreciate that success more if you've taken a pause. Okay, I forgot to give away a prize. So in our last video, we said we were going to give away tunnel bags, branded tunnel bags, not exactly like this, but they're from Galligan. They'll have our logo on them. And it was for our gem winner. So this is our gem winner. If one of you, that's not our gem winner. Hold on. Here is our gem winner. If one of you would like to read that.
I can read it. So, gem, handle hard better. I want to feel like this is easy. This is what I have trained in Handling 360. I know exactly what to do on this course. Embrace your challenges. Believe in your dog and yourself. Have ambition to learn. I think that's awesome, Karina.
That's awesome.
And that's what it is. It's not about, we want the whole world to be able to handle the most technical things that they've ever seen in their life. It's about whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're training or you're running at a level 1 novice class, that everything seems to be easy for you. Your mindset, your confidence, your nerves, that you've gone through the program and you can handle hard better. That's what we want. Speaking of giving away prizes, just reminding, we're going to give you we're giving away a tug toy at the end of today's live. If you haven't shared this live yet, go ahead and share it and come on back and write where you shared it. And if you've joined Handling 360 this week, then let us know, like Jennifer. Welcome, Jennifer.
Jennifer, welcome.
Okay, awesome. Question. Do coaches review or comment on our trial videos? That is not something we've done. If you have, like, you were at a trial and there's a course map that you were wondering how you should have handled it, we definitely encourage you to post those course maps so that we can talk have a discussion with everybody about handling. But we have currently, there's 430 videos in Handling 360, and and every student can post a video of one of those videos. So we have a lot of videos that we comment on. So we don't want to continue to say outside of the program, bring that in and we'll comment on that as well. We do help you with handling. We don't give you a critique of, but maybe we'll do that as a bonus. We've done this in the past where we've picked a student and we've commented on the handling. And so that's something that we might bring back, just so you guys can get a feel of what the timing looks like when it's not one of us. So that's a great thing.
Also, sometimes I see in the Facebook community group that there are competition runs posted and the community is helping each other.
Yes.
So that's also, like, a lot of people share their runs from trials and just help each other. And sometimes we are there too. But it's not something that we have said this is included because of the amount of videos that we have to review every day.
Exactly. This comment, I did the math. 1 year of Handling 360 is cheaper than 1 year of my in-person classes. And for a lot of people, like 3 months of in-person classes will pay for Handling 360. And you're getting coaching, you're getting lesson plans every week. You could have coaching every single day. When you leave your in-person class, and not to say in-person classes don't have a place, like once you've got the skills and you want to go practice in new locations, you want to show off, yes, go to in-person classes. But to go to in-person classes to learn, when you get instruction with a group of people 1 day a week, and then you have to go home and try to remember, and you've got nobody to remind you, like, it's just night and day. This is far better educational model. And I'm not just saying it because we own it. I'm saying it because it is a better education model. You're doing it at home. You're more confident. Your dog's more confident. And every single day you can ask for feedback and we'll give it to you. And
I mean, now with we're closing the registrations at midnight, and with the price we have now, the $11.97. I mean, split that on the year. That is less than I would pay before for just a private lesson with a trainer.
One private, yeah.
Per month.
Yeah.
One per month. And as Susan said, like, and here it's possible to have your training reviewed every day if you want to. There's no limit to how much you want to.
Going to a seminar here in this area, it's half day, so it's 2.5 to 3 hours of instruction. There's 4 people in a group, and it's $300 for a half a day. So right now, Handling 360 is like 4 half days at a seminar. So and I am going to share with you, if you go to our website right now, Handling 360 is $1,800. So joining today, you can get it for only $1,197. And why is this a perfect time to join? Well, because you want to join now so that you can start doing things better, but also that $11.97 is not going to be the next time we offer Handling 360 available. It won't be at $11.97. This is the last time it will be at that investment. And so this is a graphic that we shared in our last live, and Max gave a great analogy of a train. That if train number 1, why don't you walk through it, Max? So I can save my voice.
So if you get into a train, and let's say it's train number 1, so you go into the train and the train is going in the wrong direction. When is the moment to get out of the train and catch a new one to go back as quick as possible? So if you get the right train, then it would be number 3. But if you catch the wrong one, then you have to get out of that train as quick as possible. Otherwise, you just end up in the wrong direction. And it's the further you go in the wrong direction, the longer your journey of return will be. And also, when we put it to agility, the more expensive,
Mm.
time-wise and money-wise, it will be to go back to where you started and start
Right.
over again.
Because if a dog learns to make turns in agility wide, then it's very, very difficult. What they learn first, they learn best. It's far easier to learn to do things right the first time than it is to retrain with that dog after you've learned it incorrectly. And so that's what we want for you guys, is like, this is the time to join Handling 360. Number one, you don't want that gap of what you should be doing and what you are doing to get so wide that it's a lot more work to recover. But also, our dogs have a limited lifespan in agility. So why wait a year? Or somebody said, I'm gonna wait till my dog training's better before I join Handling 360. Let us help get your dog training better, for sure. Okay, another question. When will the new videos be available in H360?
So the first ones will go up beginning of March, which is a month away only.
Yeah, just a month away. So we have 100% completed the videoing for the first 5 classrooms and majority of the next 3. And then the 3 of us are getting together again at the beginning of April, the middle of April, and we are going to complete all of the classrooms. So it's a huge undertaking. We've already done 17 days of videoing.
Morning to night.
That gives you an example of how robust the education will be for you. Here's another question. I'm in.
Actually, 3 weeks and 2 days.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Till the first lessons are open?
Yep.
Wow, that's exciting. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm currently in Handling 360 and I'm almost done flat work. How do things change? Do I need to restart? So flat work is our second classroom in Handling 360. I think you will find the first classroom. Of course, you should look at every lesson because it's going to be fun and exciting. I think you'll breeze through the first classroom, which is essentials. And then there might be different ways, because there's 3 of us contributing to education now. There might be different ways that we present things that might make a bigger aha for you. But Handling 360 Connect right now, the prep school and the flat work, that all will seamlessly transition to Handling 360 Synergy. I think everybody is going to be excited because it's things that you've seen before, but in a way that's presented that, depending on the type of dog you have or what your learning style is, we're covering all the bases this time around to make sure that everybody gets success.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the comments. Let me just, you know what? I'm going to share. Why don't you guys read? I've got some comments from people who are currently in the program. Okay, so let's just start here with Tristan. Wait, I got to get rid of that thing, that line across the banner.
Okay, so Tristan says, before starting Handling 360, I believed my dog couldn't handle the arousal of agility. We tried an in-person foundations and sequencing class, and she just spun higher and higher. Handling 360 changed my belief completely. Enya is now fast, smooth, happy, and confident after working through the flat work lessons. And I believe that she will be a fierce competitor one day. And I can't wait to see where Handling 360 takes us.
Love
we believe
that.
that too, Kristen. We believe that too.
Okay, I'm going to give you another one to read while I have another little cough here. Here's one from Judy.
Okay. I never thought I would be able to compete in AKC agility due to my age and disabilities. I joined Handling 360 after viewing a member's video who was training in a wheelchair. My dog loved agility and I was able to adapt the lessons to accommodate my shortcomings. No podium goals, but we did get novice titles before retiring. Handling 360, Agility Nation are wonderful programs. Oh, thank you, Judy. Awesome.
And I love highlighting, yes, we've had people come through Handling 360 that have been on podiums at world championships and national championships. But to me, people who are, maybe they're challenged in their mobility, they're in a scooter, they're in a wheelchair, they can't really run, and they're having success. Like, to me, that highlights that this sport can be for everyone if you approach it in a way that the dog has clarity and you grow their independence. And that's built into every layer of what we're teaching. Okay, and I'll go back here. So here's one from Pascali. Cannot wait for Synergy. My young dog started with Connect a few months old and now is a star. Pascali's got a crazy good golden retriever. Crazy. Yeah. Crazy fast. Yeah, it's super exciting. Okay, let's read another comment from one of our students. Here we go, Carol Brown.
Handling 360 has given us results I didn't even dare to dream about. When I started teaching my dog agility, he was not enthusiastic about it, and I questioned whether it was even the right sport for him. But I followed the carefully laid out plan for teaching him, and it was so easy. All the lesson plans are there in Handling 360. The Handling 360 coaches are so brilliant and gave me so much specific, actionable things to improve upon in each lesson. They challenged me and they cheered me on, and I became excited for each new lesson. Even as we were laughing and having fun, my dog and I were both learning so much, and in only 3 years of competition, suddenly we were getting our Master Agility Championship. All of this was only possible because of Handling 360.
And what Carol's not telling you is her rescue dog that she got her mock with was a huge challenge, a lot like Party in this, Enya, that he wasn't motivated by anything other than chasing squirrels. Yeah. And he didn't want to play with her. And she just did layer upon layer and not being in a rush to want to run agility.
Yeah.
And the other thing is her dog that she had retired from agility was a cracking fast border collie, right? And so it was dramatically different. And to her credit, she just loved the dog and kept plugging away. And now, like, they're a great team together and a great team to watch. That's awesome. Yeah, so many people would say, oh, my dog doesn't like agility. Well, maybe it's the approach that you took to the training for that dog. And that's a big, big difference. Okay. Any other questions before we sign off? And I'll go get some tea for my throat.
And Enya and me are getting some sleep back.
Yes.
When you've been on a plane for 8 hours and
with crying babies.
with flying and crying babies, and you can't sleep any of the time.
8 plus 12 for me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so if you're still have questions, if you go to handling360.com/join, and there's a live chat there. My team is there. They can answer your questions. But here's the one last thing that you should know, that there is a 30-day guarantee when you join, because we want to make sure that we're coaching people who really want to be there. We don't want people that are in the program just because they purchased. And so if you think that for whatever reason you can't resonate with what we're teaching, then you could ask for a full refund. Keep everything you've downloaded already, and that's 100% fine with us, because we want the people who want to be there for the next year. So if you go to handling360.com/join, you will see that there's a live chat in the bottom, and you can ask any questions. Here's another question.
One more thing.
Yeah.
You go first. We just can't forget about the share winner.
I got the share. I got the winner right here.
Okay. Right.
Do you have any specific courses, maybe aside from H360, that tackles teeters for fearful dogs? So I would just change that, Ariel. A dog who is fearful of the teeter, rather than labeling our dog fearful. So growing that dog's confidence in all areas will help with their confidence on the teeter. But if that's the only problem that you're dealing with, then Agility Nation has got an entire program inside of Agility Nation on retraining your seesaw to grow confidence. Okay, share winner. Our share winner who wins a from the
Squeaky.
good people at
Oh.
For My Merles. And the share winner is Sherry Jensen Mason. Congratulations, Sherry. And thank you to the people at For My Merles. Awesome prizes. And that's it. We're going to get off, and I'm going to get some tea, and they're going to get some sleep. So thank you for being here. Thank you to all our HBC members who are here. And we hope to see you inside of Handling 360. Remember, registration close tonight at midnight. We'll see you.
See you.